Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, where we decode the hidden stories behind corporate filings. Today, we're diving into a report from GoldMining Inc. And let's just say there are some interesting shifts happening, especially in their executive suite and how they're using stock incentives. Before we get into the nitty-gritty, if you love getting clear, no-nonsense financial insights, make sure you are subscribed. Also, we have a fantastic Discord community where we break down these filings even further, link in the description below. Alright, let's jump right into it. This is a Form 8K filing, which essentially means something significant has happened at GoldMining Inc. that the public needs to know about, and it is happening pretty fast paced. The main event here, which all happened on the 16th of December of 2025, involves some key personnel and their compensation. Imagine it like this: US GoldMining Inc. is playing a high stakes game, and they're making some strategic moves with their top players. The compensation committee, essentially the folks who decide how the top executives get paid, approves some pretty important grants. We're talking about stock options and restricted stock units. This is how companies often reward their leaders and also try to keep them motivated by tying their pay directly to the company's performance, which is a concept called long-term incentive plans. First up, we have Tim Smith, the Chief Executive Officer. He's been granted stock options to buy up to 17,000 shares of the company's common stock. Now, these options aren't immediately his to buy. They have an exercise price of $9.4 per share, and they're going to be released gradually over time in chunks of 25%. The first chunk vests, meaning it becomes available to him right on the grant date, the 16th of December 2025. Then another 25% vests 6 months later, another 25% 12 months later, and the final 25% 18 months after that. This staggered approach is common. It is designed to keep executives around and focused on the company's success, not just for today, but for the next year and a half. Then we have Tyler Wong, the Chief Financial Officer. He is receiving stock options for 7,500 shares. And these options also have that $9.4 exercise price and a similar 5-year term. His vesting schedule mirrors Tim Smith's, with those chunks vesting at 3, 6, 12, and 18 months after the grant date. The key here is that for any of these options to become truly his, he needs to still be working for or providing services to GoldMining Inc. on each vesting date. It's a way to encourage continued commitment, but it doesn't stop there. The company is also granting restricted stock units, or SUS. Think of RSUs as a promise to give someone shares of stock in the future once certain conditions are met. Tim Smith is receiving RSUs for up to 2,500 shares of common stock, and Tyler Wong is getting RSUs for up to 1,000 shares of common stock. These RSUs also have a vesting schedule, but it is a bit quicker than the stock options. 25% vests after 3 months, another 25% after 6 months, then 25% after 9 months, and the final 25% after 12 months. Again, the condition is that they must be employed by the company on those vesting dates. All of these grants, both the options and the RSUs, are happening under the company's 2023 long-term incentive plan. This is basically the official rulebook for how these types of stock awards work at GoldMining Inc. These plans are designed to align the interests of the executives with those of the shareholders. When the stock price goes up, the executives benefit, which in theory means shareholders are also doing well. Now, let's quickly look at the company's actual stock. Their common stock trades under the ticker symbol USCO on the NASDAQ. They also have warrants, which are basically options that the company issued earlier. Trading under USCO, these warrants allow holders to buy common stock at a set price, which in this case is $13 per share. The fact that the exercise price for the new options granted to the executives is below the warrant exercise price is something to keep an eye on. It suggests the company might be anticipating the stock price to potentially rise above $13. It is also worth noting that US GoldMining Inc. is identifying itself as an emerging growth company. This classification can offer some advantages in terms of regulatory requirements, meaning they don't have to follow all the same rules as larger, more established companies when it comes to financial reporting. This is a common strategy for newer public companies to reduce their initial compliance burden. So, what does all this mean for GoldMining Inc.? On one hand, granting stock options and RSUs is a very standard practice for public companies. It is a way to attract, retain, and motivate key talent, especially in a competitive industry like mining. By tying compensation to stock performance, the company is essentially saying to its leaders, your success is our success, and you'll be rewarded when the company does well. The vesting schedules for both the options and RSUs are designed to ensure that these executives remain with the company for a significant period, which is a positive sign for stability. However, we need to consider the context. The mining industry is notoriously cyclical and can be influenced by commodity prices. global economic conditions, and regulatory environments. While these incentive plans are good for retention, their ultimate value to the executives, and by extension to the shareholders, hinges entirely on the company's ability to perform and increase its stock value. Looking at the filings, there are no explicit financial tables here in this particular 8K, which is focused on executive compensation and corporate events, rather than quarterly or annual financial performance. However, the awards themselves are tied to the company's future. The key numbers to watch will be the stock price in relation to the $9.4 option exercise price and the $13 warrant exercise price. If the stock consistently trades above these levels, these grants will be valuable. If it stays below, they might not be as impactful as intended. The strategy here seems to be about aligning leadership with long-term growth. By distributing these awards over 18 months for options and 12 months for RSUs, the company is trying to ensure continuity and consistent effort from its top brass. The fact that they are an emerging growth company also means they are likely building their operations and might be more aggressive in their growth strategies, using compensation as a tool to drive that. So, to wrap it all up, GoldMining Inc. is making strategic moves with its leadership compensation, using stock incentives to foster loyalty and performance. The success of these grants will directly reflect the company's ability to grow its business and shareholder value in the coming years. It is a vote of confidence from the board in their current leadership, but the real test will be in the company's operational and financial results. Now, what is your take on these executive compensation packages? Do you think they're a good motivator or just a standard perk? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this breakdown helpful, please hit that like button. It really supports the channel, and subscribe for more deep dives into corporate filings. And don't forget to join our Discord for even more insights. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next decode.